Are you an aspiring leader who knows you have more to offer but you can't seem to get ahead? Do you frequently feel overwhelmed and under-supported? Listen to the Overcome to Become podcast as we talk about actionable tasks and mindsets that you can apply to begin leading yourself. Hi, my name is Angela Buckley, your host and author of the Strength in Nature Leadership Series. I'm a mother, consultant, triathlete, and author. In Overcome to Become, I share with you the science-backed and experience-proven lessons I've learned in my own leadership journey to beat burnout. Thanks for listening. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Overcome to Become, the podcast hosted by yours truly, Angela Buckley. We are here today to talk about our second topic of the series, and that is dream big and start small. So once again, Overcome to Become is all about understanding what the habits are, the limits are, the boundaries are that we need to understand to impact our physical, emotional, and spiritual well-being in order to keep overcome at bay in our everyday life. As busy professionals, as parents, as community citizens, we all have the opportunity to say yes to so many activities, but it is such a challenge for us to practice the no and understand what that means in order to really give our all in the activities where we can really be most beneficial. And I think that is probably one of the biggest lessons that we have to learn when we're talking about overcoming the overwhelm. So what's overwhelm? It's when you're feeling like you just don't have control of all the things that are in our life. We all know that we do not have control over everything, but we can simply influence what's going on around us and really control our physical and emotional well-being. So when we start understanding where the limits are, where those boundaries are, we have a better chance of overcoming the overwhelm. Today, though, we are here to talk about having goals and wanting to get to a certain part and the opportunity to really dream big, but not let those dreams become overwhelming to a point where you're actually not able to achieve them. So today's episode is called Dream Big and Start Small. What does that look like? When we are trying to overcome the overwhelm, it is frequently because we have goals and dreams and aspirations that are big, and they're bigger than us. And that is a fantastic place to be in life. However, so many people don't know how to go from dream to achievement, to really getting there. And when you are struggling with all of that, you are just really, really struggling with understanding how to go from point A to your vision of point B. My name is Angela Buckley. I am the host of Overcome the Overwhelm, and I am the author of Strength in Nature Leadership Series. I am aspiring myself to complete my PhD in organizational leadership, and I have a number of academic degrees behind me that focus on engineering, manufacturing, change management, adult learning theory, and I really want to be able to host you through this journey of overcoming the overwhelm by focusing on the physical, emotional, and spiritual habits that you can form in your everyday life to help you get on your path and complete that journey to achieving your goal. Today, we're going to dream big and we're going to start small. So what does that mean? A few years ago, when I was really starting my own personal leadership journey with a focus of intentional leadership, I read a quote that said, have a 25-year plan. That was a little bit difficult for me because I felt like I had already had a plan, but I didn't have a dream. I didn't know where I was aspiring to go. And I was sort of moving from day to day, doing well, thankfully. I was successful in my career, have been successful in my career, thankfully. But I didn't have a dream that said, I want to have an impact, and what does it look like? I knew project to project. I executed projects well. I had great teams that worked with me. I really enjoyed the teams that I've worked with throughout the years, but I didn't know where my legacy was kind of in the world and having that passion associated with where I wanted to go. So reading a quote that says, have a 25-year plan, made me question everything that I had been working on, right? Working towards. I had a child. I'm very, very happy and very proud of my son and who he is in the process of becoming. But I didn't know where to go. And so one of the things that I would encourage you to do, and I have done now for the last 10 years, is find a mentor. Mentors help us grow outside of ourselves. Mentors help us see what bigger pictures we can contribute to, and ask them, what are my strengths? What do you see? If you don't have that dream, that legacy, that passion, but you know that you have more to offer or you want to offer more, ask the people around you what they see in you as your strengths, and ask them what they also see as needing being done and how you can contribute to that. Start by formulating what that big dream is for yourself, and then don't let that dream overcome you or overwhelm you to a point where you can't take a step, but start breaking it down. Once you have a dream or a concept or a general direction that you want to go into, the next part is breaking it down into steps that are small enough and achievable enough that you can celebrate small successes along the way. I am an avid hiker in the mountains. I love to be outdoors. I love to see the mountaintops. I love to see the trees, the squirrels that are hustling along as they're collecting their seeds and their nuts, and the birds that are singing as we go. One of the things, though, that's important to know is that you don't just go out and hike a mountaintop. You have to be physically fit. You have to have a plan. You need to understand what the safety elements are. And so one of the challenges that I bring into my life and to the development of my son is making sure that he also loves nature, but also has the skill set to go out into nature and come home safely. We are not always in control of everything that's around us, but we have the ability to influence our reactions, control our reactions, and influence the things that happen as a result of them. And so when I talk about big dreams for a little guy, that would be hiking to a mountaintop. Hiking to the mountaintop is an easy phrase. Getting to the mountaintop is actually a little bit more work. We have to make sure that he is mentally prepared for a hike that's going to take many hours. We have to make sure that he has the gear that fits him appropriately. And I want to tell you, hiking industry, that you still have a long way to go. For those of us who are 5'1", we're still looking for gear that fits us appropriately. But really making sure that we know all the safety steps, we know the hiking paths, we know the escape routes when necessary, what happens, what do we do when something goes wrong. We start very, very small, and in the preparation of making sure that I have a child who is safe in the outdoors, we take small hikes. We take weekend hikes. First they start 30 minutes, then 60 minutes, and we build up until he is ready to hike a mountain and reach the summit with his mom. So understanding that we have a big dream, hike a mountaintop, but we have so many little things that we need to achieve before we're ready to hike the mountaintop. I would encourage you to find your passion, whether it's hiking a mountaintop because you want your child to come up into the nature and enjoy nature and learn how to handle challenges, or whether it's something that's like a 25-year plan of, I want to give back to my community in XYZ. I have met people whose entire life passion has been bringing clean water to underserved communities. Fascinating topics, because it's not always easy, and what those communities need are different everywhere they go. So their entire life legacy When they retire, they will be able to understand how they've positively impacted people. Sometimes our legacy is easy and definable. I brought water to an underserved community. And sometimes it is, I impacted the people in my life, and I developed a child who is a community citizen who can give back. This is also a goal and a legacy that we leave. So what's your goal? What's your legacy? And then how are you going to break it down so that you can celebrate those successes along your way? Today's episode is really just focusing on understanding that big picture, breaking it down into the small steps so that we can celebrate as we go. Thank you very much for joining me. I look forward to bringing you more tips to overcome the overwhelm in subsequent episodes. Have a good day. You've just concluded an episode of Overcome to Become, a leadership podcast focusing on leading yourself first. Thanks for listening. I'm Angela Buckley with Creatively Efficient, author of the Strength in Nature Leadership Series. Please help me to continue these series by writing a review wherever you prefer to listen. Thank you for your time and interest. I appreciate your support.